So, when should you kill a character? You may have noticed this already, but my preferred genres are mystery, thriller, and fantasy. And both genres involve a lot of depth. In both genres, the writer can remove any character at any time, or at least they can find an excuse to do so if they want to. So, when should you go ahead with killing that character? So, let's start with some good reasons. So, reason one, it's the logical end of that character's arc. So if your character has served his purpose, you can maybe get rid of them, or maybe it's the logical conclusion given the actions up to that point. And also related to that, reason two, leaving the character in question in the story longer would make things too easy for the rest of your characters. Of course, you could deactivate a character in other ways, or you could deactivate them temporarily, but a character death has a finality to it that few other alternatives have. Reason three is to motivate other characters. Okay, admitted this is bit of a cliche at this point, but a character death can motivate other characters to act. It could be grief, it could be a need for revenge, it could simply be the loss of attachment. Either way, it's a great source of motives for other characters in the story. Reason 4 is to further the plot. I guess all you mystery writers know exactly what I'm talking about, as in most murder mysteries wouldn't exist without a character dying at the beginning of it. So, yeah, it is possible to write a bad character death for these reasons, but in general, you can assume that a character death written for these reasons will be actually necessary to the story. Okay, so those were the good reasons. Let's look at some bad ones. The reason one, just for shock value. I've done this. I'm not saying I'm innocent. I'm saying I'll try to avoid it in the future, and you probably should too. Besides, if you need to kill a character to generate emotion, your story may be running on fumes in terms of character motivation. And also, if you keep doing this, your readers will grow numb to it, and any serious character deaths that need to land, maybe they won't land as well. Another possible problem with this approach is that characters have functions. So if you get rid of one randomly, the other characters will have to cover for them, or you'll have to introduce new characters, which will introduce more problems on their own. The second bad reason is because you have too many characters and you need to reduce the size of your cast herd. Again, I've done this as well. So the first thing you have to consider here is that if your character doesn't need to be there, you should have put them in the story in the first place. You can fix this in a few ways. One is to give your character some function before killing them off, but that too has become a bit of a cliche. The second is to economize the number of characters you have so that none of them are extraneous. A rule of thumb I like to use is if you can't remember the name of the character, if you tried, then the readers are not going to mind their death at all. I'm not saying make those characters immune. Now, if you're writing a mystery, for example, such a character death could be useful when writing mysteries, but don't expect an emotional reaction about it. So, those are just my thoughts on the topic, but do tell me what you think. So, that's it for now. See you next time.